Do you still love me or not?
I need seven outside. Hi. I have been watching and I'm currently watching a lot of ballerina day in the life. Can you tell? I did follow this one channel that did ballerina stretches and exercises as a way to as a form of exercise for people who aren't ballerina or dancers, and it was so difficult, but I really enjoyed that. Oh, they're talking about the new Predator Badlands. Anyway, today's cooking montage video is just a bunch of the things that I cannot stop thinking about and therefore must cook. I don't do cooking videos more often simply because I don't cook on the regular. It's pretty much a toss-up. Whoever has the idea for the meal is who cooks. But the times that I do, I must share because I'm so excited. I do like cooking. Today, anyway, breakfast is going to be very simple. The menus for this week so far include cheese quesadilla, okra stew, sese plantain, and that's it so far. For breakfast today, while I'm talking to you, I am making French toast and just some soft scrambled cheese eggs. The cheese is going to be mozzarella. I started having mozzarella cheese while I was in the hospital because of my preeclampsia. And, mozzarella is one of the safe cheeses you can have. And I have not looked back. I have not looked back. I usually use cheddar, which is always great. But now, if I'm grabbing the cheese that I prefer, I get the mozzarella cheese for my eggs. Now, I love mozzarella cheese, but I didn't put shredded mozzarella in my eggs. That's just a fact. Anyway, so I need 2 eggs for the scrambling and 1 egg for the French toast. I'm debating on making a matcha French toast. I don't want to set myself up, but I kind of want. I just kept thinking about green eggs and ham, but I'm not gonna have any ham. Eggs and green toast. The other thing about this menu is that I'm making these things my way. So there's always a traditional way to make something like okra soup, and there's a traditional way to make sese plantain, but I will be doing it in my own fashion. So for instance, well, you'll see. How about that? I'm just gonna add some cinnamon to my 1 egg. Oh, y'all need to see this. Do you see that? Are you seeing this? Do you see how much cinnamon is in there? Because the top was in here and I wasn't looking. And it's worse. I just needed to open it like that. All right. Extra cinnamon plantain. Extra cinnamony eggs. Here's a little nutmeg. It's brand new, so I got just a tiny bit of clove. And then we're going to use oat milk because it's the milk I have. You know what that's about, but anyway, there we go. Oh, so much cinnamon. Oh, it's crazy. To go for it. This is a mess. I don't know. This is working out just fine. Let's see how it goes. I was watching this French movie. Oops. I can't remember what it was called, but it was about an older rich man who falls in love with somebody's niece. But anyway, he's talking with his friend and they were arguing about how to prepare asparagus. And the main character said, do it in olive oil. His friend was like, do it in butter. And then while they're arguing, the friend collapses and he's screaming. He's like, help, chef, chef, help. And then the chef comes out and she's screaming and he's like, chef. And she stops screaming and he's like, cook that asparagus in oil. And then your friend is on the floor. Anyway, the friend was fine afterwards. But that does remind me to be a little mindful of the butter. Use it interchangeably, you know? It doesn't always have to be butter. It doesn't always have to be olive oil. The world is your oyster. Matcha French toast. Now, I wonder if I should make it a matcha Hong Kong French toast. Alright, we're doing too much. Let's just find out if I even like the matcha French toast. A little onion powder. A little garlic powder. A little cayenne. Very little cayenne. A little black pepper. Alright. Now the reason why I don't mix it or whatever and then crack it in the pan, or mix it and then put it in the pan, is because I like to do this. First of all, you pick one of the yolks after the whites start to separate or start to cook a little more. I'll peel that back. This is where it gets messy because of the way I like my eggs. It's a nice little scramble. Okay, soft scramble, soft. Just a little bit of cheese. There's a little mozzarella comes in. Then you can crack the other one. And it might look kind of gross to you guys, but if you like runny egg without the runny whites, that's why I crack it in the thing. Make sure the whites cook up first, and then I get to crack the egg, and then it's not completely whatever. There, I have a nice simple breakfast. I don't want to put too much syrup where it touches my eggs. So, I'm eating the French toast and the unblended matcha bits are obviously bitter, but the overall flavor profile is something I will attempt again. It is. I'll eat this again, but I will definitely make sure not to have any of those clumps. Other than that, I like it. Hi, I'm peeling potatoes in a dirty shirt. And they're cooked potatoes. And the reason why I'm doing it this way is because it's an accident. I boiled them before on purpose because it makes the skins really easy to take off when they're still like piping hot. You can kind of just like scoot the skins off. It makes it super easy. So that's how I usually peel these mini potatoes. Like big potatoes, I pre-peel them, you know. But these mini ones, it's so much easier. Just boil them and then you just like slide the skin off because it's piping hot. Anyway, they're lukewarm now. They're room temperature potatoes, and they no longer will do that, so I'm just carefully skinning them. Today's thing is shepherd's pie, except it's not shepherd's pie. I know there's another name for one that uses beef, because shepherd's pie is with ground lamb, isn't it? And I'm literally using beef, half pork sausage. I'm just gonna put carrots, corn. I'm gonna leave out the peas, even though that's like part of the shebang, but the only person who likes peas in this house is a baby. Maybe I'll add spinach instead, because it's like in the meat, so I think it'll be nice. Like I said, these are all recipes with tweaks in them. So, you know, because recipes are great. especially when you want to make something that tastes exactly like something you had. Recipes are great, but they're also great for using as a base to do whatever you want to fit your own taste. You don't have to feel like you have to follow every recipe exactly. It's not just salt and pepper to taste, it's literally anything in that recipe. Baking is a little different. Baking, you have to like follow that shit to the T because it's like chemistry. Food is a science, but I think baking is neuroscience.
That you Batman and she Catwoman. And that's when an explosion happens, a Cobblepot Adams pulls up on a rubber ducky and
Add a little dill. I think it would be nice if there was some sort of spring onion. Honestly, there could be more potato, but
you don't in my view true to believe the fundamental point here, which is that across all 94 festivals and order one of these wallets. Come on now.
They wanted him to stop using any of their products altogether. Once you own a Louis Vuitton bag, you can do whatever you want. It
To make you sign.
good. Sese plantain my way. Instead of goat, I'm using lamb. It's got two different shoulder cut things. They got the stuff to wash and soak them. I'm using mustard greens just because I wanted to finally try mustard greens. I thought like the people say it's got like a kick to it. I think it'll pair well with like, you know, lamb and then onion, and then here's the plantain. Of course, you're supposed to use green plantain, but I don't necessarily like green plantain that much. So there's some green plantain in here, but I think I'm gonna use the two ripe ones and then like half of a green one, you know. This is ginger, the garlic, the crayfish is on the other side, along with the spices. Okay.
Whilst reciting the Lord's Prayer,
which is our Father who art in heaven.
hallowed be thy name.
So it didn't cut anything. It didn't show anything. I had it all propped up wrong. But here's the plantain. That's the two ripe ones, and here's the whole green one. And I don't know if this showed up well. I just saw this didn't show up, but this I need to wash these.
Is customizing your car insurance with Liberty Mutual and saving hundreds real?
Yes.
Okay, the meat is washed and soaking. I need to change the water. Rinse it again. I was boiling the meat and onions. Added the plantain. We're adding the palm oil now. To me, palm oil amount depends on how much you like. If you like yours all palm oily, then you put a bit. I like quite a bit of palm oil. my opinion. Alright, I actually need both heads, so I'm just gonna add crayfish, the ginger, the garlic, and the spices. I think that's pretty much it though. A little more salt, blah blah. I don't have any Maggi cubes, so I use this chicken seasoning by this brand. And I'm not using habanero or scotch bonnet. I'm gonna just use ground red pepper. I was going to use one of these, but it's like, it says jollof. I almost forgot I was supposed to add the rest of the onions, but I'm not gonna add. I added a lot earlier. I'm gonna save those onions for another time. I'm just gonna stir this up. It's smelling good, but it's very watery, so it needs to continue to boil anyway. The plantain should thicken itself, but we'll see. Okay, let's touch one of the plantain. Oh, the plantain's not done. Okay, wait a minute. Alright, chop it like that. Oops, sorry, you can't see anything. I'm just chopping it to see if the ripe ones are done. Just seeing what the green ones are doing. This might be a good time to add our bitter leaf substitute. Which is this. I think, yeah, the plantain's pretty much done. I think I actually have too much here, but I'm just gonna add it all. Yeah, like I was saying earlier, I picked mustard greens. I'm not sure. I don't think I've ever had mustard greens. I don't think. But the point is, I heard they have a little bite to them. And bitter leaf is, you know, bitter. And then you rinse it and stuff, so it has that little, you know what I mean? That little bitter kick. So this might not be bitter, but I thought it'd be a nice little substitute because I'm also not using goat meat, which would help the bitter leaf help cut into that goat meat. But I'm using lamb, which I feel like is similar to goat meat, but gentler. Anybody else agree? Does anyone else feel that way? I'm gonna add a tiny bit more salt. And a little more. Alright. So then I'll just let that simmer like 10 minutes? 10-15 minutes? I'm gonna eat it now. Alright.
I should probably run a straighten her through his hair.